Hey, welcome guys. Welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna be solving functions of f of x in a given table. So that's exactly what we're gonna be doing today. Basically, just solving functions of f of x in a given table. And I'm gonna give you two examples today. And trust me, these two examples is gonna clarify your understanding. They are gonna better clarify your understanding on how to solve this. I'm telling you, I was in class, I've been through this as well, and I know how it can be for us as students. But I'm going to show you a few steps and a few tips on how to solve this easily. Excuse me. Alright, now let's go to our first question here in the table. So we have the table here, and now I'm going to do this. This x is going to be our input. And whatever value we get here for the f of x is going to be our output. Okay, so remember, input and output. Okay, it's like I'm going to a restaurant, or I'm going to a market and I want to buy chicken, and they told me like, well, we're gonna sell this chicken $1 equals to 6 pieces of chicken. Okay, so if I give them $1, they give me what? 6 pieces of chicken. So I input $1 and I get 6 pieces of chicken. Alright? So basically, what you input should be able to give you your output. Now notice, 6 is more than 1, but it's basically what you input that is able to give you your output value. Okay? Alright, I hope you grab that concept. Okay? Alright, now let's go to the question here. So we have our answers here, answers given to us here. So what we do is we sort of the first equation and see. We kind of just test the first equation and see. So we have f of x is equals to 2x plus 3. So we're testing this equation to figure out if it's going to satisfy all these. It's going to satisfy our output value here. Okay, so remember, this is our input. So whatever we see x in this equation, we're going to put our first input value. So we have 2 times our input value is what? 1, right? So we put 1 in plus 3. Okay, so now 2 times 1 is 2 plus 3. So that's 2 plus 3 is equals to what? 5. So we notice something here, guys. We notice that what we put out, we had an input of 1. 2 times 1 plus 3. It doesn't give us our output, which we're looking for here, which is 6. So it does not satisfy this equation. So we cancel this one out, because remember, I told you guys, if I'm going to the store or I'm going to the market and I'm going to buy chicken, and is 1 equals to $1 is equals to 6 pieces of chicken, and I give $1 and they give me 5 pieces, that means it doesn't satisfy my input value. My output value did not satisfy my input value, or my input value did not produce the output value I wanted. Okay, so now let's go to our next question here. We got f of x is equals to 1x plus 5. So now we have oops, it's my cricky f. All right, there we go. So now we have 1 parentheses 1 plus 5, right? Now let's test this. 1 times 1 is 1 plus 5. So does this satisfy our 1 plus 5 is 6. Does it satisfy our equation here? Yeah, it satisfies the first one, but let's see if it satisfies all of it, because when you're solving this function, it has to satisfy, if you pick one equation here, it has to satisfy all of these, okay? It has to work for everything there. So now we put our next, we say 1 parentheses, what do we have for the second input value here? It's 2. We have 2 plus, what do we have here? 5. So 1 times 2 is 2 plus 5. This is going to be equals to what? 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7. That means it satisfies 1, but it doesn't satisfy this one. Okay? So not equal to that one. So that means this equation is not what we're looking for. Okay? This function is not what we're looking for. Alright? So let's take these ones out. Let's take that one out. And, so we were now looking for that one. Alright, now let's go to our next one. Come on. Alright, here we go. So we have 3x plus 3. Now let's see if this proof our output values to be right. So now we say 3 times what's our input value here is 1 plus 3. This is equals to 3 times 1 is 3 plus 3 is equals to 6. Alright, so it satisfies this value here. Now let's see if it satisfies the next value. X is equals to 3. What's our next input value is 2. So plus 3. Remember, 3 times 2, this is 6, plus 3, this is gonna be what? 9. Right? 6 plus 3 is 9. Alright, so that means it satisfies this value. Now let's go to the next value. Alright, see if it satisfies the next value here. I'm sorry if you're copying, but you can still reverse the video and just watch it. Okay, now let's go to our next value here. Let's see, f of x is equals to what do we have? 3 parentheses. Now next input value is 3, so we have 3 plus 3. Okay, remember we put in our function, so we have 3 times 3, that's gonna be equals to it's gonna be equals to 9. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus our 3 we have here is gonna be equals to, that's 12. Ooh, guys, there we go. Now we find one equation or one function here that satisfies all our equation here. So this is our answer here. So our answer is f of x is equals to 3x plus 3. Because when we put 1 in here, when we multiply 3 times 1, it gave us 3. And when we add 3 to this, it gives us our output value of 6. So that's how we got our answer here. Okay. Alright, now let's go to the next question and the next chart. So we have our next table here, and we have, remember, this is your input, and this is your output. Okay, and this is your output. Alright, whatever you input should be able to give you this value here. Okay, so if you input 0, should be able to give you this value of output. Okay, so now let's go to our first answer and test it. So we have f of x is equals to 3 times x plus 1. Right, now what's our first input value? So we have 3 times 0 plus 1. This is gonna be equals to 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 0. 0 times any number is 0. Okay? Plus 1. This is gonna be equals to what? It's just 1. 0 plus any number is that number. 0 times any number is 0. Okay? Remember that. Alright, now let's go to our next. It does not satisfy our equation, right? Because it didn't give us the output of 2. So it does not satisfy our equation. So we cross this out. It's not what we're looking for. So let's go to our next equation or function. So let's go to our next function. Right. Now, there we go. Boop. Alright. Now our next function says f of x is equals to 2x plus 2. So now let's see what this brings out. Alright, so we have 2x. So what's our first input value here is our first input value is 0 plus 2. Now let's prove this. 2 times 0. 2 times 0 is just 0. Remember I said 0 times any number is 0. Right, plus 2 is equals to, it's just 2, right? 2 plus 0 is 2. 0 plus any number is that number. Alright, now let's go to our next input value and see if this function satisfies our input value. Okay, so we have 2 times 2 because our next input value is 2, remember? So plus, what's our solution here? 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So yes, it satisfies our next output. It satisfies our first output because we had 2 and the next one is 6. That means it satisfies our next output. So now let's test the last one to make sure that our answer is correct. So we have 2 and what's our input value here is 3. Oops, right, 3 plus 2, remember, plus 2. So 2 times 3, 6 plus 2. Now 6 plus 2 is just 8, right? We all know that, right? So that means, oh my bad. Alright, now just drew my little quirky 8. But okay, let me put the right one there. Okay, here we go. Oh, come on. Alright, here we go. So 6 plus 2 is 8. 6, 7, 8. So it's 8. So we know that it satisfies our last output, right? So we know that this is our answer because it satisfies all our outputs. We put this in, we got this. We put this in, we got this. We put this in, and we got this one. So that means it satisfies all our outputs. So our answer is going to be f of x is equals to 2x plus 2. Alright, so basically B is going to be our answer. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you really think this was helpful to you, I really appreciate if you like, comment. Whatever you did not understand, just comment in the comment section below. I will definitely answer your questions. Alright, thank you. Have a good day.